So the first game we're going to take a look at is a Rune Mirror. We're going to keep Homework Time because it's a good draw card in our opening hand. But we do draw the Seraphic Tiding. But Homework Time being able to spell boost into one play point is even stronger card. So it is a good card to keep. One of the ones that I would hold on to. Turn 2 they play Melvi, which is fine. Turn 3 we get the Seraphic Tidings. And then we draw into Enchanting Perfumer, which is going to be really good to help clear the boards and set up a board of ourselves. Since this is a hybrid Earthright and Spell Boost deck, being able to start setting up these Earth Sigils is really important in the instance that we need to use it to clear or use it to run Blood Anthem. We evolved the Artist here to get the, what are these called? The Sigils or Crest. It should also trade quite well. Now that kills off the Anangrea because it is 6. Over here now, really don't have to worry about this. We can set up our own Anangrea to start spell boosting, but it's not really necessary to evolve it, just so we can preserve our evolves. And it's for the spell boost. It would clear anyways. And then play Dark Side on it to clear the ward, though they probably don't have to. Play out some cards to empty out our hand and spell boost. Unfortunately, we do burn a card next turn, but overall it should still be fine. They play their own Artist and evolve to get their own crest. And then what do we burn? Melvi. We don't really care. Honestly, we don't care. Played our own Kuon here. Give it Storm and then trade. Though we probably don't have to Kuon this turn, but it does add extra pressure. They clear using Sage Light Teaching, so if we didn't evolve, that one card would have cleared our board pretty much free. But this is still a very good clear for them. Didn't really have to use too much resources. Going to turn 9, we don't really have to do too much because next turn we already have our Dimension Climb at 0, and we also have a Ruler of Cocytus in hand. Norman is actually a really strong play here. From their point of view, we are going to turn 10, which allows us to Kuon evolve, and then we can D-shift again, Kuon for lethal. So setting up this ward, especially because this will block about 4 instances of damage, is actually really strong counter to that. So this turn we'll Cocytus and then Decline. There's really only one card that lets us win with this board, and that would be Astaroth's Reckoning. So we Astaroth's Reckoning here, this being at 1. Keep in mind that these, in a normal situation, even against Cocytus and Astaroth, their board would still beat us. But because we have the Onion Patch, that will clear out the board barrier, and super evolving the Cocytus will kill off the Golem, inflicting the 1 damage super evolve. So they know that, so that's why they concede here. Now we have a match against Haven. We keep the Melvi for a 2-drop. I usually get rid of Dimension Climb. I don't think it's a necessary opening hand, but we draw into it again anyways. If you don't feel comfortable spell boosting 18 times in your match and you feel like you need it, it's not a bad card to have in your hand, of course. Not bad at all. Turn 3, we play the Witch's Brew. Start racking up the spell, the Earth Sigils. Make sure to always proc it at the end of the game, end of each round, so you can really build it up. For your clears, using Sage Light and just using it to keep Lanthem respawning. So again, Perfumer is a really good option to early clear. Doesn't need evolve, but its evolve alone is still very strong. We Artists here, of course we end up burning one of the onion patches, but honestly we don't really care. We only care about having the what is it, the super evolve, or not the super evolve, the evolve effect for the crest. They use a Grail, is fine. We don't have to play anything into their empty board. We can keep everything for what they play as a response. So here, they Salifa, we can Penny. Play Anne and Gray to spell boost some more. They play John, so overcommitting there would not have been good. We drew into our Lanthem, which is quite nice if we need it later on for clears or anything of such. Well, because our health is so high and we don't need the AoE clear, we can invest the Sage Light into Earth Sigils. We'll play the Kuon here on turn 9 to help spell boost the rest of our deck. Or not deck, rest of our hand. And then in our case, we only need this regular evolve. We can save 2 evolves for cards like Akitis or Lanthem Clear or anything else that comes up later. So not entirely necessary. The Grimir Super Evolve effect really catches me off guard a lot. So here we will use this opportunity to William to clear the board. And then they hit us with the Wilbert. So this lets them get their Wilbert crest. So quite a big board, pretty strong board right now. Not that big, but still quite strong. So we take this opportunity to Akitis because that's only 9 damage. Well, not only 9 damage, but it is 9 damage on board. Silent Rider here and Servant of Akitis. We'll use the Servant to trade and then AoE clear there. Diamond Shift. Looking smart to kill that off and then play the Lanthem. Now that sets up a really strong board. Even if they clear this, there's no way they can clear Lanthem 6 times. 1 time, 2 times. So still keep coming back. Adds a lot of pressure here. Silent Rider Super Evolve for 18 damage, and that is game. So against Sword, this isn't a bad hand because Foresight gets us turn 1 spell boost. Penelope, Melvi is a good early curve that lets us have a board. And then we are going second, so we can turn 4 plus 1 play point to play Anne and Grea if we really have to clear. But overall, I do think that this hand was a good opening. The Grimir is quite unfortunate because that is a really annoying card to clear. We end up having to plus play point here so we can clear because that is quite a strong and damaging board. So their board is pretty empty, so it gives us the opportunity to Melvi, Witch's Brew, and even +1 the Earth Sigil. Given that it's quite an empty board, we actually get to play Anangrea. Get a really good clear here. So we actually can't full clear this, so we have to use Anangrea to target the Magnus. That is the cleanest clear we can get. Fortunately, they do have a Volse. And William is not strong enough to clear, but luckily we do have 2 Looking Smarts to be able to hit the Volse that's in ambush. We drew the Lanthem, but right now it's kind of yikes because we don't have enough Earth Sigils to properly use it. Turn 7 here, we get the Kuon. Good clear. Good clear. Leaving 1 open. It's okay. Now they Amalia. Amalia basically needs to trade everything in or evolve to clear. They chose the evolve option. Which is fine. Because we have a William. That's exactly enough damage. And Penelope to continue increasing our Earth Sigils. They don't have too many stuff to deal with our boards, so actually pretty good. Anangrea actually clears this up quite nicely. Along with the Perfumer. Perfumer is I actually really like this card. Being able to immediately do 3 damage and give you an Earth Sigil. Gildaria, kind of annoying card, but should be fine. The Kuon lets us go into Dimension Climb right after. And then what do we hit here? Oh, nothing. Only option is to keep drawing. Right now we're going to hedge that they're not able to clear this board. And then we can clear as much as we can on their board. So right now they have 4 damage, brings us down to 12, but Albert is not enough to kill. So we figured it's fine. And then they're not able to... Oh, they are able to full clear, but not strong enough to cover all the options because we do have Odin. So Odin being an inclusion in the deck actually is very strong finisher.
金より求めし原石。
タゼロ。
輝く未来を作りなさい。
によーっと水のサルファまだ眠いけど
ちょっと強くするね。
流れ去れ。
追われましたか。
極みの果て。ザコは失せろよ。受けてみな。てめえの面を吹き飛ばす。
によーっとまたまた
神の不在を恐れるなかれ。
もうダメです魔法薬で役に立てれば。
ここは退く。
知恵の火だね。お客様ですか？やっぱり私じゃそれとも違うかな。
神に存在して
殺意が私を生かしてる。ご一緒に。
五行は我に。てめえじゃ無理だ。無造無造。まとめて塵だ。てめえの面を吹き飛ばす。こういうこともあるよね。
Runecraft, hybrid Runecraft dirt. I made a video recently about hybrid Runecraft that displayed some of the new cards like Norman and Lalantham. If you want more information about those, you can take a look back. But the main change from that deck to this is that I've reduced the amount of artists in the deck and added an Odin. Odin lets you finish game off a little easier, gives you extra reach. Odin's just such a good card, so I've added it in. And you can increase the number if you have more copies or however you feel comfortable with. If you want to play more aggressively near the end, you can. It is going to be like 4 damage if you're dimension shift into another one, 8 damage, right? Just more storm. Norman, I only have 1 copy again, but if you have more and you really like the card, increasing it is completely fine. I think 2 is a really good number for Norman because of how much work he puts in. Did I mention it yet? But I'm not sure. But artists, I've decreased it from 2 to 1 because I just don't find it as useful as I originally thought. The difference in the game of having an evolved artist for the onion patch and not having it active is not that significant, but that is the main change. Overall, same thing. Penelope is your main earth rate generator. Melvi, another earth rate generator. Sagelight, very flexible card. Lalantham, still very clutch card to have. And then your classic combo of Kuon or Kaitis and Dimension Climb. Again, with a hybrid list, you might find it more difficult to spell boost Dimension Climb. But overall, very strong deck. I've been finding a lot of success with it. So, hope you enjoy. Oh, nice. It's 20 and 20.